All right, guys, welcome to a very special edition of With All Due Respect. So, we've been trying to take some time recently and make some videos just to kind of help show you guys how to create content, how to make matches flow. Just recently, I put out an FPR video, and so couple, I don't know, hour ago, 2 hours ago, whatever, Ebarb and I had a match. And so Ebarb is one of my main guys here that helps me check on everything and keep everything going. And there was some confusion on the rules that you'll kind of see in our video here. And so I asked him to come join us. He's on the show here with me. We're going to watch this video together and show you where he was kind of confused on some rules because some of you may be confused on those same rules and just show you a non-FPR match. So the things that you probably shouldn't do because it was pretty clean, but there's just some confusion on a couple of different areas. So what we'll do, Ebarb, is we'll watch this video. We'll show the first couple minutes where it was really, really good. You'll just kind of give some commentary. I'll give some commentary. And within probably, I think, the first 4 or 5 minutes there, we start to see where the confusion of the rule came in. And then we'll skip to the very end and show another confusion of the rule. I'll actually link this video. We'll upload it to YouTube, and I'll have a link in this video in the description that you could actually go watch this entire match and maybe pick up on some other areas where the rules were just a little blurry and confused for him. But we're just trying to show you what you probably shouldn't do and where some of this confusion may come in as you're kind of watching these matches to kind of help you have the best match possible. So he and I did replay this match. It will be on the card. And you'll get to watch the real match where it was, it was perfect FPR. But this is just a good video to watch where the FPR was not quite as perfect. I'm going to skip ahead here. Um, so this is how the match starts, and it actually went really, really well. It started out really good, and then there was some confusion. Tell guys kind of while we're watching here where you were confused.
So basically, the way I was confused is I've thought that if you did your move and say like I got springboard, so if I wake you up with my wake up taunt, I thought that I could drop you on the ground, wake you up, and then hit another move because that was giving you the chance to wake up and work.
Which is wake up taunt is right directional D-pad.
Is my up directional D-pad.
Up, not right. Yeah, that's right. I think right is
It's up.
is a taunt at them. Up is wake up, and left is to the crowd.
Yeah. So that's where I was confused. I thought that you could wake people up and do springboard attacks after you've already knocked them on the ground, and also the same way as far as turnbuckle moves. I didn't realize that it was more of a move no matter what. So your strong grapple on the ground, your forward kicks, or springboard or corner attacks. You don't get to do your strong grapple, your 3 hits, and then be able to do a springboard or a turnbuckle move if you wake them up.
So right there, he got me on the ground. He did a rope move where he bounced off the rope. That's it. He's got to let me get up and reset. Now, he picks me up, but he just picks me up to bump me. If you watch some of the other stuff while he was talking, it was all legit. He got me on the ground. I rolled out. We reset. If somebody rolls back in, give him some space. If you watch this real match, there was one time where I rolled out, and as soon as I got back in, he was in my face and did a move. Just back up, give some space, reset, and go at it. But like he just said, when you get him on the ground, you get 4 strikes, 1 strong grapple, 1 strong strike, or if you're going to do a turnbuckle move, or if you're going to do a signature or finisher, that's it. You just get 1 of those. Now, if you get him on the ground, you can go immediately into a signature, or you can charge a finisher after a signature, but you can't wake up taunt into a finisher ever. You can wake up taunt into a signature, but if you did no moves once they're on the ground. Once they're on the ground, that's it. So you'll see here, he gets me on the ground. That's his strong grapple right there. And then he does good. I think here he resets. Oh no, here's where he messes up. So he goes out the ring. So he's done with moves. He should allow me to get up. You go out of the ring here. You wake up taunt me. So I have no control over my guy. I'm not able to move or anything. And then does another move. That would not be allowed right there. So once you get him on the ground, after you do your strong grapple, your strong strike, or your 4 strikes, that's it. He needs to wake up and reset, not a wake up taunt or they're dizzy, but like completely wake up to where they're able to move and do all their normal stuff. Then that's a full reset and you can go at it. This was a fun match outside of the FPR issues. You got out to a really big lead here. See, now this would be cool. That's into a signature. Now I blocked this signature, but he didn't do any moves once I was on the ground. He woke me up into a signature. That would be totally cool. You could do that. Now you couldn't do wake up into a signature, charge a finisher. You couldn't do that. Now if you get him on the ground, you can charge a finisher. If you get him on the ground, you can wake up into a signature. Or you can do it, charges, get them into a signature, but you can't get them on the ground, wake them up into a signature, then charge a finisher. You gotta find other ways to hit your finisher.
Yeah. And y'all will see I actually do that at the end of this
Yep.
match. That's kind of how I won, and that's where we had this whole discussion started from. So once you hit your signature, you can't go directly into your finisher. You have to either wake them up, go back at it again, and then hit your finisher.
Unless you hit your signature during like a regular move. Like if you and I are both awake and moving, and I hit you with a signature that gets you on the ground, then I can immediately go into a finisher. What you can't do is get them on the ground. Now this was kind of lame too. I didn't tell you this. This is kind of lame. The ref got in my way, and you used that as a free way. It's not against the rules. It's just a little lame.
I'm a heel. I'm gonna take.
I'll give you that. 100%. I'll give you that. That's definitely a heel move. But if you're a face, don't do that. It's just kind of lame. But anyway, if you hit your signature like during a regular move set, like you're both awake and in the ring and doing your thing, totally good. You can just totally go into your finisher then. But if they're on the ground and you hit a signature, then you can't go immediately into a finisher. I blocked a couple of those, man.
You did pretty good on blocking my signatures.
It was a good match. I actually made a little comeback here. It was a good match. Again, if guys pick you up to wake up taunt you, to bump you, don't be a douche. Let him bump you, because sometimes it's hard and you kind of walk into each other, and then you kind of both move and you're in each other's face, and like just back up, both of you, and reset and go at it. They're doing it just so that you don't sit there and wait, and we don't have 25-minute matches because we're sitting watching somebody dizzy for 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Let me see
another thing to watch for is don't make your guy 8 feet tall to where he can be on one end of the match and reach for you and grab you all the way on the other side of the ring.
Is that a shot at Captain?
I mean, it might be. I'm just saying. I believe that his reach is unbelievable.
His reach is unbelievable, and he's also super slow. And there's also many ways to beat him, and I paid the price to have him that big. It's his gimmick. He's not 8 foot tall. He's 7 foot tall.
Sorry, 1 foot off.
He's also slow as molasses. Again, his moveset matches him. Like, he's not 7'1" doing flippy stuff off the top rope and super fast running at you and able to move past anything. Like, his strike speeds are slow. His power is high because he's big. He's just a big, strong guy. And his reach is great. But
yes, he will do some damage to you really easily. Like, really easily. And that's what I like about him.
Okay, you'll see right here, this is where things started to get hairy and how the match ends. So I started to charge a finisher here, and I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. I canceled it. I let you wake up. I think I actually bump you maybe. Yeah, I bump you here, let you wake up. See, sometimes bumping's hard, right? So wake up, bam, move. Okay, reset, we're going at it. All right, so I missed him twice. He comes back at me, reverses me. Ground, okay, I'm on the ground, so he's got choices here. All right, he chooses to use a springboard. Bam. So he should be done. We should be resetting to a new move. He wake up taunts me into a signature. Even that could be like ignored if we just reset and then go back at it. Nope. He wake up taunts me again into a finisher. And that's how this match ends. So that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to just keep wake up taunting into move after move after move. Again, remember the other rule that I think some guys forget is Uh, in a regular match, you get one kick out. So if you kick out one finisher, you're good. The next one that gets hit and you get pinned on, the match is over, and you need to go ahead and let the 3 count. In a championship match or pay-per-view, we'll let you do that twice. So you can kick out twice, but on the third one, that's it. It's over. You lost. You got beat. Like, to me, if a guy hits 2 finishes on you, I just don't want to see matches with 20 finishers and they're 35 minutes long, and we just kind of want to avoid those types of matches. So we just want to
Now,
do
let me
this
ask
one.
you this.
Yeah, go ahead.
How do you feel about people that store their finishers and do double finishers back to back? Is that allowed in the rules or not?
Yeah, it's totally allowed. Like, if you want to take that chance and you want to store it, sometimes I don't like store mine on purpose. Sometimes just the way a match goes, you'll have 2 or 3 stored up, and that's just kind of the way it went. But yeah, if you go 2 finishers back to back, yeah, I mean, it's totally cool. But again, I think that it has to be within the rules. So you couldn't get them on the ground, charge a finisher, hit a finisher, charge another finisher. Like, after you hit that first finisher, you need to pin them.
It's a
Now, if
reset.
you pin them and they kick out, and you pick him up, you both reset, and bam, you hit another finisher, perfectly cool. But you couldn't hit a finisher and then stand up and charge another finisher, hit a second finisher, because your moves would be over. Um, Now, you could, the only way that could work, let's say if you had 2 or 3 finishers and you hit a finisher during a regular move set. And what I mean by that is, like, I have some finishers that you and I could just both be standing and hitting strikes and grapples, and I could just hit you with a finisher out of that. If you hit a finisher out of that, got them on the ground because they're out due to a finisher, and then you have a second type of finisher that you can hit with them on the ground, you could do it that way. But you couldn't get them on the ground, charge a finisher, hit a finisher, charge a second finisher. But if you did hit a finisher during a regular move set and then charged another finisher and hit that, that would be perfectly fine. The biggest thing is, once they're on the ground, you only get 3 strikes, 1 strong grapple, 1 strong strike, a signature, or a finisher. Like, one of those are your options. And after you hit one of those, you either need to go for a pin or you need to pick them up, reset. Like, there has to be a reset to where you're both awake and walking around. And when we say awake, we don't mean a wake up taunt, because even though you wake up taunt them and they can use a reversal, they're not able to, like, move around and punch and do other things. So when we say awake, we mean under full control of their person, where they can punch and grapple and move and do all that stuff, plus use a reversal.
So
So,
now, let me ask you this. If I don't hit you with any moves when you're on the ground, I get outside the ring and I wake you up for a springboard, that's
yep,
allowed, correct? Because I didn't do a move while you were on the
correct.
ground.
Yeah, that would count like a strong strike or a strong grapple, because you
I'm
didn't
just
do
trying
any
to get
moves.
everything clear for everybody.
Yeah, because you didn't do any moves while I was on the ground. If you don't do any moves while you're on the ground, like, you could even pick them up. If you do a move, they're on the ground, you pick them up, you throw them into the corner, and you do a turnbuckle move, but then that's it. Like, you have to then reset after that. That's your 1 strong strike or your 1 strong grapple. You can't do anything else. So if you do that, then you have to let them get up and reset and go back at it. The biggest thing is, once everything starts, once they're on the ground, or once they even, yeah, once they're on the ground, once they're on their face or their back and they're on the ground, that's where the resets come into effect. Now you got to start, what move are you going to do, that then forces you, now you have to do a reset. And a lot of this is like, learn as we go. And some of this stuff, you'll be like, oh yeah, you tried that. No, it's not how we want matches to end. Don't do that again. But I think the key here is, as you guys are learning, I'm not like letting some big secret out of the bag, but you want to set your move set up. You want to set your moves up to keep people standing as much as possible. Because again, once you get them on the ground, you're now limited to what you can do before you have to let them reset and get up and move around. So the more moves that you can do where they're standing up, the better. And so if you'll see a lot of my move sets, I don't have strikes that punch you onto the ground. Because I don't want you on the ground, because once you're on the ground, I'm out of moves. There's only so many things I can do before I have to allow a reset. So I want to keep you on your feet as much as possible. Now the payoff for that is that guys can use their reverses more easy on you. But that's why these matches flow back and forth, and that's where the strategy comes in, is when do you want to get them on the ground and force a reset, and when do you want to keep them up and try to force them to use their reversals.
Yeah. So now another thing that I've noticed in matches online with people, moves that make your opponent stand up after you hit them. Are those allowed, or are we not allowing those?
Give me an example.
Knuckle shuffle, John Cena's. You get hit with it, it automatically makes the opponent stand up to get ready for the
I got
AA.
you. No, it would work. That move would work like a strong strike. And so if they're on the ground, you do the 5 knuckle shuffle. Even if the move makes you automatically stand up, that's a reset. So that means if they're dizzy, bump them, wake them up, reset, go at it.
Yeah, just want to make sure we're not letting them take, not really take advantage, but
Yeah.
making it to where it's more allowable for people to get more moves in that
Yep.
way.
Now, the main thought is that when we say awake and reset, we mean both players under full control of their player. They're able to punch, strike, move. And so, again, once you get them on the ground, you get 3 strikes, 1 strong grapple, 1 strong strike, which can count as a turnbuckle move. It can count as a springboard move. It can count as a signature, but you only get 1 of those. Or it could even count as a finisher. You only get 1 of those, and then there needs to be a pin attempt, and then a reset if it's not time for a pin attempt. Again, remember, you can't hit a finisher unless there's 2 body colors. One of those colors has to be red, and you can't finish a match. Now, here's another thing that you and I kind of can remind them about is, if I hit you with a finisher, you kick out, I don't necessarily have to hit a finisher to win again. I can win off of a signature. It's just an impactful move. And so if I hit you with a finisher, you kick out, we're playing a match, and I get a signature, I hit you with a signature that's a really impactful move, I can try to pin attempt off of that if I want. But
It's also,
the other
you
person
can do
can
the
kick
same
out,
with,
because you can only not kick
yep,
out of 2 finishers. It doesn't count for signatures or all that other stuff. Like if you try to, what's that roll up, that child roll? What, I can't even think. Schoolboy.
schoolboy.
Yeah, if you try to schoolboy me and I've already kicked out of 1 finisher, I can kick out of that. If you try to, oh, what's the word that I'm looking for? Submission move me after I've kicked out a finisher, I can get out of that. You just can't get out of 2 finishers. In a championship match, you can get out of 2, but you can't get out of 3. But again, that doesn't count for signatures. It doesn't count for submissions. It doesn't count for impact moves, even though the match can end on that. So again, I hit you with a finisher, you kick out. I hit you with a signature. I try to pin you off of that. I can win if you don't kick out, but you can kick out if you want. But now if I hit a second finisher in a regular match, you can't kick out of that. In a championship match or a pay-per-view match, you can kick out of 2 finishers, but not the third, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And now also they've got to remember their pin combos, diving pin
Yeah.
combo or move combo. You can win off of those after the first finisher
Yep.
has been hit.
Yep. Or if it's part of a finisher.
Yes, or if it's part of your finisher. But you can't win before that finisher's hit. That's the whole thing. The first finisher has to be hit on you. Now, what about, say, triple threat matches?
Yeah,
Do
so
you have
those
to be the one to hit a finisher, or can anybody pin after one finisher's been hit on that guy?
Yeah, after 1 finisher has been hit in the match, period, you can pin. And so let's say there's 3 of us in this match. Captain hits, Cactus hits Captain with a finisher if he's in this match. Aiden can now pin Cactus, even though Cactus wasn't hit with a finisher. As long as as soon as there is 1 person into 2 colors and 1 finisher has been hit, then it's free game on anybody. Because again, we're just not
Awesome.
we're not trying to shoot for 45-minute matches. We're looking for shorter matches, but still where everybody has a fair game. In tag matches, we have our first tag match on the card. It's going to be the exact same thing. It's going to be once one finisher has been hit, that whole team has now been open. Now, if one finisher has been hit on one team but not the other team, then the other team can't be pinned until one finisher has been hit. It just has to be as a team, or if it's a triple threat, once one person's been hit, everybody's open for one.
Speaking of tag matches, they only get one breakup, correct?
Yep, the team only gets one breakup as a whole, not one breakup per person, just kind of one breakup as a whole. Cool. I think we've covered a lot of the rules. This is a good video to watch. I think you could kind of see a couple of the things where there may be some fogginess. This video went a little long, but I think it's all good. Any closing thoughts you want to throw in?
Oh, I mean, I'm pretty good. I've learned what we needed to learn from my guy. Getting ready for triple threat matches and all that stuff's going to help us out in a lot of tag matches. I'm hoping we get a lot more tag teams because I really like tag team matches.
Yep, start forming those tag teams. Luna will introduce those belts in a couple of weeks. We'll build up to do a championship match at the first pay-per-view, but it takes more than 3 teams. We really need to get a lot of teams, and the only way that's going to happen here is if you can see where I rolled in the ring right there, just kind of point where I was talking about earlier. There was no space given, just give some space. But anyway, the way we're going to have tag teams here is everybody makes 2 people. So if everybody here, I think we have 8 guys or something like that. If everybody here makes 2 people, that's 16 guys. It's plenty enough to have a tag division, but not if you only have 10 guys and 4 of them are tag teams. It's only 2 tag teams. That's just not enough. So I know a couple of you guys still haven't got your stuff turned in. Aiden's going to follow up with you and get you to get your stuff turned in. Some of you have been saying you're going to turn in. You haven't done it. With all due respect, we don't have time to play around. If you're just not going to do your stuff, if you can't get your wrestler posted and getting completed, then you're not going to get a match every 10 days, and you're just going to waste our time, and I don't really have time to waste. So I'll follow up with a couple of you that haven't done anything and are in our chat, but if you got some things that have to be cleaned up, Aiden and I are following up with you. Get your stuff turned in. First card's out. We're about 3 days deep. Aiden and I have got our match done. We're getting our role plays done. Lots of stuff's getting submitted. So have some fun with it and get your stuff submitted. Aiden, thanks for joining the show with me. We'll get this posted and get it out to everybody. And have some good matches, fellas. Peace out.